Hi, I'm Andrew Benny, President of the Ellesmere AMP Association for 2020 and, as it turned out, 2021 for our special 150th anniversary show. The theme of the 150th anniversary show this year was Our Heritage, Our Future, and it was to encompass how the show association has progressed over the 150 years from its start in 1870 to the present day. A subcommittee for the 150th anniversary show was formed in 2017. It was chaired by Jeff Heslip and it contained members from the Selwyn Heritage Centre, the Ellesmere Vintage Club and the Ellesmere Historical Society, who were all going to play major parts with displays and activities for the show. Little did we know in our planning that we were going to be affected by a respiratory virus called COVID-19. It originated in China and spread through the world at an alarming rate. This impacted severely on New Zealand and it impacted severely on entertainment events such as ours, with laws and regulations that were put in place by governments on what the general public were allowed to do at the time. It forced such uncertainty over the world and through organisations like ourselves to be in a position where we were uncertain whether we could actually run the show or not, and it forced us in the finish to cancel the 2020 show with plans on holding the same show in 2021. All the planning for the show had been done, and it was just a process of hoping that the virus cleared itself through and we would be all up and running and able to put on a show that the district deserved, and that all our competitors and all our members, sponsors who have helped us along the way over many years would have richly deserved coming to. So running into the 2021 year, everything seemed pretty good as far as the COVID virus in New Zealand seemed. We seemed to be kept away from what was happening overseas, and planning for the show progressed pretty smoothly, followed on from our planning from the previous year. So not too much had to be done. Little did we know after having such a good run that we got through to August 2021 and another COVID outbreak occurred in the North Island. Immediately that put us into a level 2 situation, which precluded large gatherings of over 100 people. The association had, as I say, planned for this potential situation to happen. We were able to implement a level 2 show reasonably easily with the guidelines given. We're very lucky that we had a big ground. Some of the regulations that were put on large gatherings were groups of no more than 100 people in one area. Hygiene had to be up to standard, and so we were well catered with many toilets and washing facilities. Being an AMP show, we were largely open air, so not confined to buildings, which allowed us to increase our numbers slightly to that 100 maximum. And most of our sections on show day don't actually contain many more than 100 people in the section for starters. So once again, the AMP show was very lucky that we could subdivide off our sections through ropes and run our normal events minus the general public. Many of the activities that were planned for our normal 2020 150th show that were never able to proceed with. We had a 150th anniversary dinner lined up on the Wednesday of the show week. That was to contain guest speakers, and it was just really going to be a gathering of people who are closely associated with the association, and it was just going to be a nice lead up into what was going to be a fantastic show week. Some of the other things that came out of the subcommittee's meetings and ideas that they brought forward were to present our long service stewards with medals of recognition for the many years of loyalty that they've shown to the association by turning up on show day, just doing their thing, and helping the show run as smoothly as what it does. So we presented about 45 of those medals during show week, and we carried on doing that with our stewards, and also to other people who had contributed significantly in their show sections over recent years. Another medal that was presented by the association this year was to the exhibitors of the Supreme Breed winners of livestock, and that also went into the Supreme Class winners in the grain and seed section and the photography section, which was also held. For the 150th show, the association also printed special 150th ribbons, and they would have been, well, they were presented to the livestock recipients and winners of prizes. Other activities that were planned that unfortunately never happened due to a non-public show going ahead was probably major things like we had a grand parade organised, which was going to encompass a lot of vintage machinery. We were going to have a park up in the middle of the ring at the end of the parade, and that would have shown the vintage machinery right up to the modern day machinery through the years. We also had special displays. We were also going to have special displays in each of the sections of the shows. So the horses that had the Clydesdales back this year, which they haven't been back for a number of years, and that was a highlight. They did come on the Saturday of our level 2 show, but they were quite a spectacle for the people who saw it, and they would have been a true spectacle for a large crowd that would have been there. The Erewhon Clydesdales from the Rangatata Gorge, they were also going to be at our show this year, and they were going to lead the Grand Parade as well as competing in the Clydesdale sections. In the horse sections we also had a side saddle exhibition lined up, and we had fashion in the field, which we carried on with. Sheep section, we're going to have the founding breeds of the sheep flocks that are now in New Zealand, and the shearing, we were going to run a blade shearing competition, which has not been seen at the Ellesmere show for many years, so we were going to do that. And in the dairy competition, we were very fortunate, and we did carry on with this. We had the South Island Dairy Championships, and that featured a large number of dairy animals, and the 4 main breeds of dairy cow were very well represented at our show this year. So if you're looking at this video in 20 or 30 years down the track, I hope you understand that it was a very difficult job for the association to run a show, and just due to the uncertainty that it was caused. So hopefully down the track, in the not too distant future, the show will return to normal and be the great community day that it always has been, and that our community deserve to have. So sit back, enjoy the video. It's not what we planned, but it's what we got, and we had 3 glorious days, and everyone who was able to be at our grounds competing on the day thoroughly enjoyed themselves, and here's hoping for a return to the normal AMP show for 2022.